No, I am the sponsor. I'm the founder of You're Not Alone and the podcast that you're listening to today, Breaking the Silence. We talk about mental health and addiction. That's what we're covering. That's what the podcast is about. We support the mental health and the drug and addiction 200%. And what the podcast is about today, which I'm sure is going to hit home with a lot of people. This is something that I'm hearing constantly over and over, and hopefully we'll be able to shed a light on someone and help them hopefully get to the next step. Today's episode is about the differences about talking and healing, or if you want to say talking versus healing, because I know that for a lot of people they'll say, oh my God, I'm so tired of just talking over and over about the same pain. I'm talking about what's going on with me over and over, but I'm stuck. I'm still stuck. And I'm hearing that a lot, not just with my clients, but just the community itself with other organization leaders like myself, where they're saying that they're coming in contact so much with this behavior, this problem, this situation with their own clients, where individuals like ourselves are still feeling stuck after having multiple conversations with professionals or just with our loved ones about the situation, our pain, but we're not seeing any changes in our behaviors, in our habits, in our emotions. So today's episode, I'm just going to go a little bit through what that is, what is talking all the time, and healing. What actually happens when you just talk, and what happens when you do the talking and the healing, and it comes together, and you eventually will see the changes that you're looking for. A lot of times we go out and we just talk to someone over and over. We'll say, oh, this is our situation, this is our pain, but a lot of us are not taking the next step after having multiple conversations or just one conversation. I mean, I understand that you're just trying to vent and trying to get it out and trying to get the help. But if you can talk about it over and over with someone, you can talk to a professional or a loved one about your situation, or even talk to yourself about what's going on with you. But if you're not taking that next step after that conversation, you're just going to stay stuck. You're going to continue to feed out the same story over and over because you haven't taken that next step. And when I say the next step, what I mean by that is either, after you vent, after you talk to someone, open up your journal. If you're a person that likes to write out their thoughts or write out what they've done throughout the day, open up that journal and write what you just talked about. Write about what the root of the problem is and where you're hoping to get to. What is your goal? Venting, what is the goal that you're looking for? What is healing for you? That's what you need to write after every conversation that you have, so that you're taking yourself mentally and physically, and you're following those steps to get to where you need to get to, where you get healing. Because a lot of us, we don't do that. We just vent, and we just leave it there and go on about something else. You need to, after that conversation, open up your journal, write what's going on with you, write where you're trying to get to. What is healing to you? If you're not a person that, usually likes to open up a journal or do journal, I understand that not everybody's a writer. Not everybody likes to write. I get that. But whatever it is, you need to take the next step. If your healing to you is being able to no longer feel as much, because we're always going to feel. Our emotions, we're built on emotions. And we have our good days and we have our bad days. And unfortunately, on our bad days, our emotions are going to be all over the place. I get it. So if you're not a person that likes to write in a journal, then that means you're not going to be able to do that after you vent. So if that's not something that you do the breathing. I mean, I bring this up all the time because it really helps. Do some kind of breathing after you vent. And after you do the breathing, ask yourself, what is healing to me? What is healing going to look for me today? Like, what am I looking for? What is healing? is healing me starting out different? I'm living this way right now, but I'm going to have to change my ways, change my habits, my actions, so I can get to where I want to get to in my healing process. That is something that you can only answer. But, like your first step is, yes, of course, to vent, to talk to someone. But your second step should always be is taking the next step to get you where you need to get to. So if you're journaling, if you're breathing, if you're an art person, maybe just coloring in a book. I know a lot of individuals, the art therapy just takes them somewhere. And I don't mean art therapy where you have to go somewhere to do art. Just art therapy within yourself, creative art, expressive art. You can open up a book, a coloring book, or whatever it is. If you draw on a board, draw on the board, draw out what you were just talking about, or draw out where you're trying to get to. Draw your emotions out, but you have to take that second step. A lot of people, like I said, because I speak to people on a daily basis, and it's really important that people understand, just like when I'm speaking to friends, or I'm speaking to other leaders, or I'm speaking to clients or people in the community, it's like I always say, even for us, we might make a plan and talk it out, but if we don't take the next step, we're stuck. Nothing happened. We didn't do anything. And that's just with anything in general. You talk something out, and with mental health or drug and addiction, you're talking something out about your problem, your pain, or maybe why you are in the position that you are at that moment, and you're trying to get away from it. You're trying to figure out how to take that next step, whether it's maybe getting medication to calm down your anxiety or your depression, or if you're doing an addiction, maybe you want to get detox so you no longer have to do whatever type of drug it is that you're on. But you're taking that next step. You came in, you did your intake, and then the next step would be the resolution, the start of a resolution. Because like I said, healing is a process. Healing is not going to happen overnight for no one, when these mental illnesses attack our bodies, attack our nervous system and our brain, it's a chemical imbalance that we're not just going to be able to just squash it, put a Band-Aid over it because we've taken a couple pills or our medication that's been prescribed to us. That medication is going to take a while to really kick into your system, and your nervous system takes place with the medication, and your body starts falling in place. And with addiction, they have to do the intake. If they're on heavy addiction, they have to go on a detox. The detox is a couple days. You have to see how their body reacts to that detox. After detox, they have to take another process. Everything is a process. Healing is a process, day by day. But the most important thing is to be able to start the process. You realize that you need help. You're going to go and speak to someone. You're going to go ahead and get the help that you need. After you vent, after you did your intake with them, or you've spoken to a loved one and now you're on your way to get that help. You did the first step, and that's big, But the next step is to stay consistent and really follow through with your process. You did one, make sure you do step 2, step 3, step 4. It doesn't matter how many steps it takes to get where you need to get to. The answer here is, and the goal here is, to complete the steps. Don't just start out, stay stuck, and not follow through. Because if you don't follow through, you're going to stay stuck, or you're just going to go back to whatever it is that you're dealing with, whether it's mental illness. You're just going to stay stuck in that depression. You're going to stay stuck in that anxiety. You're going to stay stuck in that hole. You're going to stay stuck in that dark hole that you've been trying to pull yourself out of, but because you're not pushing, you're not going through and completing your steps, you're not getting where you need to get to get healed. And if it's an addiction, you might have took that first step and went and talked to somebody or found a place that's going to help you, but you're scared to go in. You're scared to stop. So what are you doing? You're going back to the same thing. You're going to go get high again that night. You're going to go ahead and go drinking, whatever it is, because you're not completing the steps. You really have to follow things through to see anything happen positive, And like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, because the pain that you're in, that you're dealing with on a daily basis, didn't come upon you just in one day. These are things that occur to us, and they build up. They build up, and as we continue to let that build up in our lives, it takes a toll on us, and a lot of people don't see that toll that these individuals are going through, but they see it. They're weighing it up, they're the ones going around carrying this heavy weight on them. But it's real. It's real. Their pain is real. The weight that they're carrying around is real. And it's something that they're dealing with every second of the day. And that's why I'm here today. It's just to hopefully open up these tools and resources for someone that really, really needs it. Someone that wants to get help. Because, help is not going to come to you. Unfortunately, it's not. And we can't help anyone unless you reach out. You have to tell us, when someone needs help, you have to reach out for that. No one's really going to know. We can figure it out. Like, look at you. Okay, yeah, something's going on with him, something's going on with her. But, there's boundaries. There's boundaries. And we can't just approach you and say, oh, can we help you? What's going on? There's boundaries in life, And in order for someone to cross those boundaries with you, you have to open up. You have to really say, this is what I need to do. And then instead of just talking about it, I really want to do this. Instead of taking that first step and saying, my name is such and such, and I'm going through this pain, this trauma that I've been dealing with for so many years. How can I be helped? It shouldn't end right there. It should end. It should continue. It should be a process, and it should continue on whatever you're. Okay, well then maybe we should set you up for such and such every couple of days a week, or maybe you need to get medication, or maybe you need to start some other different kinds of therapies in your life, or maybe just incorporate different things in your daily life to get where you need to get to. But whatever it is that you need to do, you need to follow through. Don't give up, because I know people are like, oh, but I've been trying this for so long, I'm not seeing no changes. I'm still going through the same emotions. My behavior is the same, like I can't change myself from doing certain things. And it's hard, because changes are hard for anyone, and sometimes we want to see things fast, like things just to happen like overnight for us. But unfortunately, reality is that it's not going to happen like that. It's not going to happen overnight for you or anyone else. But you have to stay consistent. You will see the change eventually. It takes time. Everybody's different. Everybody's situation that they're going through is different. So their reaction and their outcome of it is going to be different. Don't expect your change to be just like someone else's that you've seen that just got help. Because you're different. Everyone's different. Everybody's body, mind, nervous system is going to react different. So, you just follow your process, follow your body, follow what you're supposed to do, to get you where you feel as though that's healing for you. Because again, even healing, for what you want as healing, can be different from someone else's. So you can't compare yourself from someone else, how, oh, they got their help, oh, they're doing good, they're doing this. She got everything in control. She's doing real good. Yeah, I'm happy for that person, but you can't compare your healing with that healing. Because, like I said, your nervous system, whatever your imbalances that's going on in your life, in your body, is different from that other person's. All you need to do is just focus on you. Focus on how you can get yourself to that place where you want to be. Whatever healing is for you. Because for everyone, healing is different. For some people, healing might just be them feeling okay every day, feeling happy. Maybe their medication is helping them. And them just waking up every day, taking their medication, and them being able to function throughout the day, that might be healing for them. And then for someone else, healing might not be medication. They might not be a person that takes medication, and they won't take the medication, but they'll do something else. They might involve an activity every day, maybe go do some exercise, go to therapy once a day, or something else, but they'll incorporate something into their daily life And that's healing to them. So everyone's different. We can't compare one person to another because healing is not the same for all of us. The only type of healing that is the same for all of us is that we're all looking for what makes us complete. Because feeling complete and being complete, that's healing, that's happiness, that's joy, that's living life, at the most. That's living life powerful, where you're living life the way you want to live it. When you can say, I feel complete, then that means you are where you want to be. And that complete is different for everyone. So, I just wanted to bring that up because, I've heard it over and over. I just was saying, okay, let me put this together and be able to share this with other people. Hopefully someone is listening to me that is feeling like they're stuck after going to multiple sessions, with a therapist or a counselor, or just with talking with loved ones. They just feel as though like, okay, I'm tired of just repeating myself over and over and over, and I'm not seeing no changes. Like, I'm still stuck. I'm still feeling the same. My actions are the same. My emotions are the same. It's like nothing is changing, but here I am just spilling myself out to everybody day after day. I get it, and you're not alone, because I've heard this over and over, and I'm sure besides myself, this is the way people feel. They have heard it many, many more times, maybe more than I've heard it, This is real, and you're not alone. People are, going through this on a daily basis. And it might not be the same scenario with them, where they're maybe they are following through to the next step. I don't know. But I know that if you are venting and you are talking to someone and you are opening yourself and you're ready to get help, and you opened yourself and you're like, okay, I'm here, I want the help. How can I get it? You're going to get it. You're going to heal because you want it. It's like they say, you can't change no one. You can't stop someone from being an addict or doing any kind of drugs or drinking until they're ready to get help. Because you can continue to help them, but they relapse. Just like with mental illness. You can't help someone and get them on the plane and get them where they need to be unless they're ready to be, they want to be out. And if you're opening up and you're saying, I want this help, but I can't figure it out. Like, I'm talking to people over and over, but I'm still stuck. So you are already one step ahead because you want the help. You want to get healed. You opened up. And that takes a lot. You already came over that. So if you're already there and you're still feeling stuck, like nothing is moving for you, try to figure out what's that next step that you're not processing. What's that next step that you're not completing or you're not doing consistent? Because consistency is the key. If it's medication, make sure you're taking your medication on a daily basis. If you're taking it at 9 o'clock in the morning, try to take it every day at 9 o'clock. We can't skip days in between. Things happen. If you're going to a counselor, go consistent to this counselor. If you're seeing a therapist, stay consistent with the therapist. If you're going to outpatients, consistently go to your outpatient meetings. If you're going to meetings in your community, continue to go. Stay consistent. Those consistencies in life really, really make a change. I know individuals don't see it like they're like, that meeting didn't help me. I didn't get nothing from that meeting. But maybe tomorrow's meeting will. That outpatient or that counselor, that therapist, they're not helping me. At that moment, that might just be the way you feel at that moment. And I get it. We all feel like that sometimes, like things are not just going our way. And something just tries to push you to give up. But don't give in. Do not give in. Do not give up. Continue the consistency, whatever it is that you're doing after you're venting, after you're talking to someone. Continue to take those steps. Do them consistently. Do them every day the way you do them. Same way you did it yesterday. Continue it the next day. Because eventually you will see a change. Because like I said, we all don't intake information the same. We all don't take changes the same. And we just don't all process life. It's life itself. We all don't process life itself the same. We all process life different. We all process information different. And we all take changes different. Some of us don't like changes, so it's hard to even wrap our heads around that. And some of us do like changes, but we try to run through it too fast. And that's where the cracks come in. If you're trying to do something too fast, or if you're doing it for someone else and not for yourself, the outcome is not going to be the same. The outcome is definitely not going to be the same. You have to want to do this for yourself. And you have to have patience with this. You know, healing, you need patience for healing. You need patience to let your body process what you're letting in, because it's been in trauma for so long that the guards are still up. You know, like I say this over and over also. You know, we have triggers in life every day. You know, so we as individuals, as human beings, because we're human, none of us are perfect. We're just human beings living on this earth, you know, trying to make it through every day. And a lot of us have to build shields, you know, we wear masks, and that's how we build our strength. That's how we become to protect ourselves, you know, and that's just the nervous system from us living in so much different traumas or situations in life. Just stress itself, life throws stress at us all the time. And sometimes just us trying to deal with that stress that we're dealing with on a daily basis, you know, we put up this shield. We think somebody's trying to come at us already, you know, but it's just life. It's the stress that we just letting get to us. These are just things that we have to learn how to really process, you know, on a daily basis. And we really have to take our patience with this. You know, we have to take the patience with ourselves because we're trying to heal ourselves. And we just have to be gentle with ourselves, you know. Love yourself, you know. Don't continue to try to be something else. Just, you know, stay in content with yourself. You know, be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. You know, let this process, you know, when you're getting this help and you're reaching out and you're doing what you need to do on a daily basis, you're taking your steps to get you where you want to be, where healing is for you. Just be gentle with yourself. Just follow the process. You know, let the process lead you where you want to go. You know, continue to go to those meetings, continue to go to your outpatient, continue to speak to your counselor, your therapist, whatever it is that you're doing on a daily basis that you already opened up to because you want that help. Don't give up. Don't give up because your strength is already there. You know, you already opened up. Continue it. Keep reaching out for that help. Because if you're just talking and you're not healing and you're not following the process, you're going to stay stuck. And you're going to continue to repeat the same thing over and over and over because you haven't seen no resolution because you're not doing what you need to do after the venting. Okay, so you're always going to be with the same story. You know, whoever you talk to, you're going to come out with the same story because you still haven't found the resolution. You still haven't found the closure for that pain. You know, your pain is still just lingering because you haven't been able to found your closure and just really do what you need to do. You know, just, you know, and I'm hoping that someone out there is listening to me right now and they're able to resonate with this. And hopefully my conversation was something that they were looking for because they feel stuck. They feel as though that, you know, they're tired of talking over and over and over. And because of them feeling like that, they're almost about to give up, you know. And that's what I'm hoping that this is preventing today for someone that is just so tired of venting and not seeing changes and not seeing their emotions being taken care of, or they don't feel as though that their actions are any different. They still just feel the same. They're tired, and they're just ready to say, forget it. This help is not, I'm not going to get no help. Nobody understands me. They do. They do. Believe me. They do understand you. You just have to follow through. And you have to really show up for yourself. You know, don't give up. I know it gets hard. Some individuals, it gets so hard on them because they get tired. You know, they're exhausted. It's bad enough they're already tired and exhausted because of what's going on in their life. But here they go, they try to get help, and now they feel even worse. You know, they feel as though no one understands them. So it even makes them even go deeper into this dark hole it gets a hold of them. So I'm just hoping that this episode really resonates with somebody, and this just shines a light on you where you understand that, it's not going to happen overnight, and you took that first step. And the first step, which is the very hardest step for many people out there, is saying that they need help. And if you already took yourself to that level, you're there. You're there. You're showing up for yourself. Just continue to show up for yourself. Follow through. Write on a journal on a daily basis. If that's where you could just write out with no filter what's going on or where you want to get to. Do some exercise, whether it's breathing exercise or just physical exercise. Do it. Take a walk. Follow whatever it is plan that they have put in place for you, whether it's outpatient, whether it's community-based programs, whether it's meetings, whatever it is that they have put in place for you. Just follow through with it. Follow the process. It's going to get you where you want to be. Just don't give up on yourself. Continue to show up for yourself. Take care of yourself before you worry about taking care of anyone else. Heal within, because you deserve it. We're all worthy of ourselves, of just being happy and feeling healed and feeling that we are where we need to be in life. We're content. We're complete. Everyone deserves that, and you definitely are worthy of that, And don't feel as though that no one doesn't understand you. Don't feel as though like, oh, that's it, it's over with. I'm tired. There's no point in this. No, don't feel like that, because that is not true. There is a big point in this, and the point is you. You're what's important. You're the one that needs to really understand that, yes, you're worthy. You are worth it. There is no, oh, I'm going to give up because no one doesn't understand me. No, keep pushing. They understand you, but you just need to follow through. Continue to show up for yourself and get that help. Just continue to just be there and show up for yourself. And if you feel as though you're listening to this podcast right now and you are stuck in a situation like this, or similar one where you do feel as though you want help, but you still haven't opened up, you still haven't reached out to anyone to get the help, please do. Please do. Show up for yourself. Get that help that you need. Start living the life that you want to live. And, like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen. If you're ready to get help, reach out, whether it's our organization or someone else where you feel safe. Please just reach out, get the help. It's going to be a process. It's not going to be like they can just put a Band-Aid on you and just the next day you're going to be okay. No, it's not true. That's not going to happen. And like I said, my podcast is not about giving people false information or giving people just anything that they want to hear. I'm just going to be honest with you. Healing is a process, but it will happen. I've seen it happen in all types of situations. Mental illness, addiction, really bad mental illness, like all stages. I've seen it happen in mental illness and addiction, and I'm telling you right now, when you're ready to heal, you can heal. It'll take a process, but you will get there. And when you do, you're just going to be so happy that you stayed with yourself and you continue to show up for yourself, because you're going to see life in such a different way. Life no longer is going to feel like it's against you. Life is going to be in your hands, and you're going to live life the way you want to live it. Because I know a lot of us can't understand or really comprehend when someone says to you, life is in your hands. We have control over our own lives, because we do. I know that's a little hard for some people to really believe, because life is all over the place. But we can control our lives. Once our mind gets clear, and whether it's off addiction, once your mind gets clear because you're no longer addicted to these certain things that you were addicted to, your mind is clear. You're able to focus and do the things that you need to do. There you go. You're in control of what you're doing on a daily basis. That's your life. Mental illness, once, going through different stages of mental illness, you're either on medication or you're taking the process to healing, you're clear a little. You're clear, your clear thoughts are now. Now you're thinking more clear. Your focus is clear. Your steps are clear. you're in control. That's your life. You're controlling your life again. So yes, we can control our lives. We just need to get to where we need to get to first to be able to see those steps and understand and focus on how to control our lives to get where we need to get to on a daily basis. I'm just hoping that helps someone. Like I said, my podcast on a daily basis is not to ask you for anything. It's just to ask you to show up for yourself. If you're listening and you have a mental illness or an addiction, this podcast is for you to feel safe. This podcast is to give you that strength that you need and to let you know that you're worthy. You're not alone. Just reach out, get the help that you need. Let people into your life that can help you. You know, because there are people out there that is safe to be around. There's people out there that will help you where you need to get to. There's community-based organizations. There's online-based organizations like myself that will help you and walk you through whatever it is that's going on with you and making sure that you get where you need to get to become that person that you want to become, and that's healing. But you need to take that step. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be guilty about. It's a strength to ask for help. It's not a weakness. And if it's a caregiver that's listening, please continue to support that individual, whether it's a loved one, a friend, whoever it is. Continue to support them. Give them all the support that they want, that they need. Give them, be patient with them because this is a process. But just continue to make them understand that you're there for them and that you'll never give up on them because that's important. And if it's someone that's just you're listening to this podcast and you're just trying to find out a little information about mental illness or drug and addiction because you're just curious, I just want to let you know that this is real. These emotions, this pain, these urges, these triggers, these individuals go through every second of the day is real. And they really need all the support that they can get. They really need all the help that they can get, all the access, all the tools and resources that they can get to become healthy. They're human beings just like us. Just right now, some of them are lost. Some of them they feel as though they have no hope, no support. And we just need to guide them back in to help them get to where they need to get to. And that's what my podcast is about. That's what my organization is about. If you have been following me, whether it's on social media, on Apple, because we are now streamed through Apple Podcast, Apple Live, iHeartRadio, Audio. We're streaming through all those platforms. If you are listening through any of those platforms, or you're listening to my live or on my social media, I just want to say thank you for your support. You can't do it without your support. And if you are supporting mental health and drug and addiction, I ask you to please reach out to us. There's many ways that you can help us, even if you're not locally. You can always help from across the country because our access, our tools and resources, our access is available worldwide. So no matter where you're at in the world, if you're supporting mental health and drug and addiction and you want to volunteer with our organization, please reach out to me. Go on my website, reach out to me through social media, whatever it takes. Reach out to me. We don't ever have enough. We have a team in place now, but because this need is needed so bad worldwide, like every day I wake up, those numbers are going up more and more and more because I check them every day. The first thing I check for is suicide, and that number is just doubling minute by minute worldwide. And I'm asking you, if your heart is in it and you want to volunteer and just help some type of way, no matter where you're at in this world, please reach out to me because we can never have enough help. If you're licensed as a therapist, if you're licensed as a counselor, if you're licensed social services, or you just would like to be an advocate with our organization as a volunteer, please reach out to me. And again, doesn't matter where in the world you are located. Reach out to us. You'll be able to help us. We can't never have enough people and I'm just trying to get everyone together. Even if you're running the same organization that I am, there is no competition. It's not about us. It's about them. Reach out. Like, let's make this movement strong. You know, I can't say that enough. That what I'm doing today with this podcast and my organization is not about me. It's about them, and I just need to make this movement as strong and big as possible so that we can continue to provide our tools, resources worldwide. Because every second of the day, we're losing someone to mental illness, we're losing someone to an addiction, and we're just trying to cut those numbers down, pause them, freeze them, whatever it takes. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm here for today. And I will continue to push for them as long as I can. So if your heart is in it, I'm telling you, just reach out to us. You know, we have events on a daily basis. Like today, we're honoring Junis. And I just want to say I'm honoring them, family, friends. I'm honoring them today. You know, some of them are, you know, in this situation because of the past, you know, the pain. And we're honoring them. We're having an event. We're having a big Junis event in my community on Saturday. It's out there on social media. I'm local in here in South Jersey. I have all the information out there. And I'm really proud to be able to collaborate with them, with the organization in our neighborhood, to be able to do this beautiful event for the Junis, honoring and supporting them. We have a beautiful event coming out on Saturday. If you're locally, please check our social media, and you can have all the information there on that event, and just join us. Come out and join us. We're open to having as many people come out. This is a beautiful event that's happening on Saturday, 10 to 3. And again, just want to say thank you for everyone that's supporting me, following my podcast, following our yoga events, our sessions, just sending me these beautiful messages throughout social media. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm getting so many messages where people are saying, what I'm doing is beautiful. This is something that's needed for so long. Thank you for even starting this. And I want to say thank you to you. And you know who you are that have sent me these messages. And I just want to say thank you to you for even taking out from your busy time and telling me how much my program is being beneficial to you. This is what I want. Like, if this is helping you, please reach out to us. If there's something that you wanted me to talk about or get you more information about, reach out to us. Because this is what this is about. This is what this podcast is about. To be able to reach out to many people as I can and really bring the light out and really get them the information and tools and resources that they need to be able to function on a daily basis, or get them where they need to get to so they can heal. That's really all I have for today. Again, like, if there's anything you need from us, reach out to us. We have 24/7 live chat on our website. We have a 24/7 support line. We have a 24/7 email support line. There's always someone on these lines, on this email line, on this chat line, on the phone line, standing by to answer any of your questions, or just have a conversation with you if that's what you need. You will never reach out on any of our lines and not get an answer right back, or have someone just pick up the line right there. If you call the line and it goes to the voice, like I'll tell you they're on the line or whatever, leave a message, because as soon as they're done with that call, they're going to call you right back. And again, if you have any questions of anything that's going on with the podcast, or if you're on my website and you're looking for any of the tools and resources and you're not finding them, or if there's something that you would like us to put together for you, just reach out to us. We'll get that out to you. Even if you want merch, like this is a shirt that one of our community-based person asked us to do for them. And I usually like to go, whatever it is that they're asking me to produce for them, I usually get one for myself too, just to support. And then this one says that therapy said I needed boundaries, and Then it says at the bottom, it says, so I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I thought that was cute. I guess she was just trying to, get a little humor into it, and I thought it was really cute. And we got this done for her, and it's also on our website. All the shirts that I wear on the website. And it's usually someone that asks us for something, they get it done. We'll get it done for them, and then just to support them, we'll put it on our website. Just so that other people might want, something like this. Every day, bring them a little smile to their face, and that's all we want. Well, that's all we're trying to do. So again, thank you. Hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Tonight is a bad day. The weather is not on our side. We do have yoga at 8 o'clock. If it's still, because we're having poor rain out in our area right now, if it's still poor rain, then we're not going to have our yoga session tonight if you are following us. But if the 8 o'clock hits, even if the ground is wet, but if there's no rain coming down, I will go ahead and do our yoga session. And again, thank you for following these sessions. And I'm just going to close with my normal statement, and I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. You don't have to struggle. No one has to ever struggle in the dark, in silence, alone. We're here. Someone in your circle is also there. Just reach out. Let them know that you need help. Thank you, and bless you.